Good evening, Franklin County. I'm Frank, and this is The Drop. Tonight, Chambersburg Borough Council has several substantial items on its agenda, including the school district's long-range plan, utility budgets, and another step involving the former JCPenney property at Southgate. We also have new statewide restrictions on data center development. Although there's no confirmed Franklin County data center project, the concerns behind the order may sound familiar locally. But first, I want to tell you about a change coming to Franklin County life. The channel isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. But the drop will no longer appear simply because another day has arrived. These shows can take several hours to research, write, record, and edit. Too often, that has meant spending a lot of time turning small updates and calendar listings into a complete video, even when those items would have worked better as a quick website update. Beginning now, the drop becomes story-driven. Going forward, the website will handle more of the everyday information, while YouTube will focus on stronger stories and community events. That includes parades, festivals, fairs, live streams, and special gatherings that have become some of the strongest parts of Franklin County life. The goal is fewer obligations, stronger videos, and more time spent on the projects that provide the most value to people. So, this isn't goodbye. It's simply an adjustment on how we use our time going forward and what becomes a full video. And with that said, let's get into what's happening today. Chambersburg Borough Council meets tonight at 7, and the agenda carries more weight than an ordinary Monday meeting. Chambersburg Area School District Chris Bigger is scheduled to present the district's 2030 blueprint. The full title is Strategic Realignment, Education Modernization, and Fiscal Optimization. That sounds complicated, but the practical answers are fairly straightforward. How will the district organize its schools, update education, and control costs over the next several years? Tonight is a presentation, not necessarily the night where all those questions will be answered, but it should provide a clearer picture of where the district believes it needs to go. Council is also scheduled to hear the proposed 2027 budget for the borough's electric utility, gas utility, and warehouse operations, followed by water and wastewater. Those presentations matter because Chambersburg operates its own utilities. Decisions inside those budgets can eventually affect rates, infrastructure projects, and services residents depend on. Council is also considering a Support Main Street Matters grant application connected to the demolition of the former JCPenney building at Southgate. That does not mean demolition begins immediately. It is another administrative step connected to a larger Southgate redevelopment project. The agenda also includes an executive session concerning potential litigation and Franklin County's property reassessment. Because the discussion occurs behind closed doors, we should not speculate beyond the description provided on the public agenda. Governor Josh Shapiro has signed an executive order establishing new requirements for proposed data centers in Pennsylvania. Under the order, developers seeking state permits must make legally binding commitments covering electricity cost, environmental protection, transparency, local employment, and community involvement. Data center proposals have also been removed from Pennsylvania's fast-track permitting program. Non-disclosure agreements will not be permitted, and projects must receive required local approvals before receiving final state approval. One of the biggest provisions says developers must pay for new electrical generation, transmission, and other infrastructure their projects require. without shifting the cost onto Pennsylvania households and businesses. The Pennsylvania Farm Bureau called the order a useful step, but said additional protections are still needed. It concerns farmland loss, pressure on water, and local infrastructure, higher utility cost, and the possible use of eminent domain for transmission projects primarily serving data centers. The Coalition to Protect Franklin County shared the Farm Bureau's statement because several of those concerns overlap with arguments already being made here about farmland, transmission infrastructure, and local control. However, an important distinction: this does not establish that a data center is currently planned for Franklin County. The local connection comes from policy questions surrounding development and electrical infrastructure, not from a confirmed local data center proposal. And Franklin County has mosquito control spraying scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday evening, in portions of Greene, Guilford, and Southampton townships. The county says testing found elevated West Nile virus activity in mosquito populations in Southampton Township, along with nuisance mosquito levels in Greene and Guilford. Treatment is expected around sunset. Residents may want to remain indoors while the spray vehicle passes. If weather prevents Tuesday treatment, the backup date is Wednesday. In Chambersburg, reconstruction along East Washington Street between South 3rd Street and South 8th Streets remain unfinished. Drivers may encounter uneven transitions and raised manholes or drainage structures until the final surface is installed. The final surface is tentatively expected during the week of August 31st, depending on weather and the construction schedule. And that's where we'll leave today's drop. Going forward, Franklin County Life, the website, will carry more practical information and local listings. YouTube will focus on stronger stories and selected community offerings and events. So there won't necessarily be a video every day. I do thank you for watching Franklin County Life. I'm Frank, and with that, still independent, still local, and still here. Have a great evening. I'll see you next time.